Okay, I'll go ahead and get us started. Good morning, everyone. Oh, that was such a weak, pathetic good morning. Good morning, everyone. There we go. Gosh, wake up. All right, happy Monday. Happy President's Day for those of you who care. I don't particularly celebrate the holiday, but if you do, and you have a favorite president that you want to frame in your house and say Happy President's Day to you, go right ahead. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our warm-up. There we go. Now I'm awake. We're gonna go with our marches in place in 3, 2, 1. Always want to get the body warm before exercise. Cold muscles are not strong muscles. Prone to tightness. Side steps left in 3, 2, 1. Out together, out together. Perfect. These don't have to be super wide. If you need them to go a little smaller, that's fine. Still warming up those adductor muscles. Very important, as most of us don't spend time walking side to side. 3, 2, 1. Feet together. We're going to do swimmer shoulders forward. Now, when you do these, torso is staying flat towards me. You're not rotating. We don't have buoyancy on our side on land. So your lower back is not going to be too happy if you rotate. Reversing it in 3, 2, 1, backstrokes. These don't have to be super wide. If you need little mini ones, that's perfectly fine. All I care about is getting us nice and warm and ready for exercise. 3, 2, 1, rest. Go ahead and grab your ropes. For those of you at home, if you don't have a rope, you can use a small hand towel. Washcloth will probably be a little too small. Bath towel will probably be a little too big. I know, I'm Goldilocks. Okay. So you're going to hold kind of at the little knots of your rope. If you're using a towel, make sure you have some resistance on it. We're going to bring it up overhead, and we're going to bring it back down. Up overhead, and back down. Good. Now, you should feel this in your shoulders. If you are feeling this in your neck, what you're doing is either tucking your chin or looking up too much. Pick a spot in the room and just stare straight ahead. That's probably the easiest thing to do. One more. And rest. Okay. Now you're going to double up on your ropes. You're going to hold in between the loops and the little loop you've just created. We're going to do our steering wheel. So, from side to side. You're going at 45, 45. I don't want you doing 90, 90, because there's a very big chance that your rotator cuff is going to get pretty angry at that. So, it's like you're making little X's. And if you need to slow down the pace because maybe you're going a little too fast and furious for your shoulders, that's fine. I don't want you going super fast on me. And rest. Okay, now you're going to hold it out. You're going to pull in, push out. Pull in, push out. Good. Pull in, push out. Pull in, push out. Beautiful. Two more. Rest. Set your rope aside. Get your weights if you have them. Ball goes between your thighs. Make sure your toes are pointed towards me. They're not pointed out or in towards each other. we're going to do supinating bicep curls, or as I prefer to call them, pirate curls. So you're bringing it in, kind of like you're saying arg like a pirate, and back down. Same thing, other side. Beautiful. When you do these, I don't want them going super fast. Nice, slow, and controlled. You're not swinging the weights and using momentum. You are using muscular contraction. Perfect. Last one, and rest. Okay, now we're going to hammer curl, shoulder press, and back down. I'm just doing this little squat so the camera can see a little better. If you need to modify, you're doing 1 press down, 1 press down. Now, when you do your shoulder press, if you feel your shoulders shrugging up into your ears, past your neck, you're doing it wrong. Your arms don't have to be perfectly straight here. You can do a little half press. Just make sure you're not swinging and using momentum. Rest. Okay. Next, you're going to turn your weight so your palms are facing you. You're going to row your weights up and bring them back down. Make sure your elbows are staying above your weights. Your weights are not curling down or curling up, they're staying flat. Beautiful. You're gonna feel this in your shoulders, your chest, upper back, all of the things are working. One more. Rest. Go ahead, come to seated. Ball is gonna still stay between the thighs for one more move. You're going to come forward until your abdomen touches the ball. We're going to do winged rows. There you go. If you need to modify, you're doing a 1-1 instead. Perfect. Last one. Rest. Go ahead and set your ball aside. Weights are going on top of your quadriceps, not on top of your knees. Very important, it's on the quads. We're going to do weighted marches. So you're bunching up and down. Now, if you need to take it just a few inches off the ground instead, that's fine. Or if you need to do it without the weights, that's also okay. Gonna feel this in your quads, your glutes, and a little bit of hamstrings. And rest. Okay, calf raises are next, so we're coming up on your toes and back down. Perfect. You're just lifting your heels off the ground. You're not going like full ballerina mode on me. We're not working our ankles, we're working our calves. Never want to work out joints. You'll never see a knee move, an elbow move, an ankle move. Not happening here. At least not until the 30th of this month. Then we can go wild and crazy. Until then, we have to do nice, perfect form. Two more. Last one. Rest. Okay. Go ahead and set your weights down. We have one more leg move, and then we're going to go into some mobility portions. So, you're going to go ahead and anchor on to your chair. It's going to be a little easier if you slide forward, not all the way off. And we're going to do bike pedals starting with the right leg. Pedaling it out, snap, crackle, and popping already. When you do these, make sure that you're not leaning back or bending forward. Your posture is nice and straight and strong. That apple is on top of your head and it's not rolling off. Apples are far too expensive for you to be bruising. At least they are now. Back in the 50s when I was a lad, they were much cheaper. You could get a whole bushel for $1. Now $1 only gets you half an apple. Rest. We're gonna go ahead and do the same thing other side. Pedaling it forward. Now, if you need to modify, you can kind of kiss the ground with your heel in between. That way you're not fighting gravity as much. If you're at home and you have carpet, that's probably gonna be a rough time for you. You'll just have to power through it. If, however, you can't make it through the full 30 seconds and you need to stop beforehand because you feel pulling, sharp shooting, stabbing, that's fine. Rest. Okay. Quads and glutes just did some work, so why don't we stretch them out a little bit? We're going to start by keeping the left leg bent, right leg comes out straight, reaching forward with the right hand. If you can touch your toes, awesome, but don't force it. Make sure, however, that opposite hand is resting on your quad, not your knee. You rest it on your knee while leaning forward, your MCL, medial cruciate ligament, is going to be very dissatisfied. Rest. Go ahead and do the same thing, other side. So right leg is bent, left leg comes out straight, reaching forward with the left hand, just making sure that that opposite hand is not on the knee. Again, if you can't touch your toes without forcing it to happen, I don't want you to do so. If you force a stretch, it's no longer a stretch, it becomes a strain. Rest. This thing is giving me problems today. Okay, so we're going to do our seated figure 4 stretch. There's 3 variations. Variation 1 is you come over, crossing with your calf. Variation 2, you're crossing with your shin. And then variation 3, you have your ankle on top of your quad. If you feel pressure on your knee right now, you're doing it wrong. And that means you need to scoot your leg back a little bit. If you are doing it even with shin or ankle and this is up high and it's not flat like mine is, that's fine. All that means is that you have some tight hip flexors and this stretch is actually going to help with that. I'm going to do a magic trick. There, I turn the music down to telepathy. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and come out of this. Have to be even, so same thing, other side, either crossing over with calf, with shin, or with ankle. Now, this is the same thing. I don't want you bending forward or leaning back. Posture straight and strong. Apple is still on top of your head, not rolling off. Rest. Okay. Next move, we're going to do seated. It's going to look familiar to a lot of you. You're going to bring your right hand down, palm facing me, left ear to left shoulder. And if you want the intensification, you can gently press down on your temple. You're not pulling, you're pressing down. Very important distinction. Don't swing your body to look at the clock like I'm doing. Rest. Do as I say, not as I do. That's what my mother always told me. All right, now, left arm comes down, palm facing me, right ear to right shoulder. And if you want, you can gently press down on your temple. Again, you're not Pulling, you're pressing. Rest. Okay, go ahead and come up to standing. We're gonna do our little series where we do a dynamic stretch, then a static, then a dynamic, then a static, blah, blah, blah. Head to toe. We're gonna start with our neck. So, we're gonna do our 4 counts. We're gonna look in one way, hold that direction for 4, back to center, hold it 4, so on and so forth. What I don't want you doing is straining all the way to look perfectly 90. If you have to stop at 45, that is fine. Stop where you feel a little bit of tension. Tension is different though from pulling. Tension means tightness. Pulling means that you're doing something too much and you're overexerting that muscle. Tightness and burning, totally normal. Pulling, sharp, shooting, stabbing, pins and needles, not normal, means you need to back off with your range of motion or skip the exercise altogether. Sometimes if you have certain medical concerns, some exercises are contraindicated for you and it's okay to skip them if you need to. All right, now that all of that disclaimer lawyery stuff is out of the way, we'll go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, looking right, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, center, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, left, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, center, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, center, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, center, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, right, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, center, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, left, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, center, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, center, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, center, 2, 3, 4, rest. Okay. This next stretch is going to have 2 variations. Variation 1, hand goes behind to your mid-back, ear to shoulder, and we gently press. Variation 2, you're taking the hand out. So, left hand goes behind the mid-back, right ear to right shoulder, and then we're gently pressing down. This is going to stretch your shoulder and your neck. Again, a little bit of tightness, a little bit of burning, normal. Pulling, sharp, shooting, stabbing, pins and needles, not normal, means you need to stop. Rest. Same thing, other side, so right arm goes behind mid-back. left ear to left shoulder. And then you're taking your hand and gently pulling down on, or pressing down on your temple. Rest. Okay, chest is next. We're going to do alternating bear hugs. So you're going to switch which arm is on top. You're gonna hug and switch. Now, this doesn't have to be a death grip. Don't baby it. Give it a good squeeze, but not so much that you're gonna pop your eyeballs out of your chest, or out of your chest, that'd be quite the feat. Out of your head. Like one of those stress things where you squeeze it and all the pegs come out. My stress thing was Gumby. You just twisted all the time when I was mad as a child. Is Gumby still a thing anymore? Probably not.
Yes.
So, all right, it's still on the air after all these years. Rest. Next, we're going to do our static. So, hands come behind. If your palms can touch, awesome. If they can't, just interlace. This is targeting your chest, your shoulders, and a little bit of your upper back. Now, don't pull so hard that it hurts, but don't give it zero tension either. Rest. Okay. Next one is going to be a little bit of a core move as well as a little bit of a dynamic kind of exercise. So, we're doing our teapots without any weight. Left arm is going to come down to your side. Right hand comes behind your head. You're going to slide down as far as you can go and come back up. Slide it down and come back up. Good. Make sure your torso is facing me. You're not rotating in or rotating up. Rest. Now, left hand comes behind the head. Right arm at your side. Sliding down and back up. Rest. Okay. Next is our hip openers. If you have had a hip replacement, have hip bursitis, arthritis, any kind of chronic condition, I only want you taking the modification. I don't want you overdoing it or pressing your luck. So we're going out for 4, in for 4. If you're taking the modification, you're stopping at about a 45-degree angle. Otherwise, you're going to go as close to 90 as you can. So, we'll start with our left leg straight, right leg is bent, toe on the ground, heel above the ankle. We're going to go out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, 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 out. 2, 3, 4, in. 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, in. 2, 3, 4, rest. Go ahead and shake it out a little bit. Have to be even, so same thing, other side. Right leg stays straight, left leg is bent. Toe on the ground, heel above the ankle. We're gonna go out. 2, 3, 4, in. 2, 3, 4, 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 last out. 2, 3, 4, in. 2, 3, 4, rest. Shake it out a little bit. Come back down to seated. Get your ball, it goes between your thighs. Sip of water if you need it. I've been yapping away, so I'm gonna take one. So, we're gonna do our next 4-count series. Squeeze and hold for 4, rest for 4, squeeze and hold, rest, so on and so forth. When you do your squeeze though, I don't want your knees going in towards each other. I want them staying relatively 90 degrees. Posture still straight and strong. Shoulders go up, back, and down. Squeeze. 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4, 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 last squeeze. 2, 3, 4, rest. Okay. Now we're going to do our squeeze, release, so on and so forth. Squeeze, release, 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 posture straight and strong, still squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, 2 more, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, rest. Okay. Last one, we're gonna squeeze and hold for 15, rest for 15, squeeze and hold, so on and so forth. If the 15 feels like it's too much and you need to stop at 10, you need to stop at 8, whatever it may be, that is okay. We're all at different points in our fitness journey, so if you're not maybe quite as far along as I am or someone next to you is, don't worry about it. Only worry about how far along you were now as you were the last time you came to class. So if you need to stop beforehand, It's not that you're not trying. It's not that you're not good enough. All it means is your body is saying, I need to acclimate to this a little more before I can take the 15. Okay, now that my disclaimers are out of the way, we're gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, squeeze and hold. Same thing though, relatively 90, that your knees aren't going in. We got 5 seconds left. Rest. Just think of this as a 5-second hold 3 times. In 3, 2, 1, squeeze and hold. I know, isometric exercises are some of the hardest ones because we have to keep the same state of motion for so long. But if you just power through it, rest, it'll be over before you know it. We got one more. You can do hard things. I have faith in all of you. Might be more hard on some days than others, and that's okay. Not every day is going to be a rainbow and sunshine day. Squeeze and hold. We're almost there, almost at the finish line. Well, for this exercise, don't get too excited. We still have a little bit more time for me to torture you. And rest. Okay. You can go ahead and set your ball aside. Grab your weights if you have them. Weights are going to come up at your chest in a candlestick position. You're going to bring one up and down. Other side up and down. Now, turn your weights so that your palms are facing me. Up and down, up and down. Turn again so the numbers are facing me. Up, down, up, down, turn. 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 2 more. Up, down, up, down, turn. Up, down, up, down. Last turn. Up, down, up, down, turn. Up, down, up, down. Rest. Okay. Shoulders, I'm sure, are nice and bright and awake now. We'll give them a little bit of a break. Kind of. You're going to bring your weight so that your palms are facing me. You're going to squeeze your chest in and release. Your anterior deltoids, the very back of your shoulders, have to work a little bit for this one. But it's mostly coming from your pectoral muscles as well as your lats. Those are the muscles in your chest and upper back. If at any point this feels like it's too much and you have to do it without the weight, that's perfectly fine. Last one. And rest. Okay. Set your weights aside. Because our next series is going to be a little experimental. So we're going to do our same stretch, but we're going to add in the ropes. So go ahead and grab your rope. It's going to come to the sole of your shoe. You're going to straighten your leg. You're going to raise it up and bring it back down. Raise it up and back down. It doesn't have to raise super high. In fact, I don't want it to go anywhere past pelvis. Two more, but keep your rope where they are. Last one. Now, you're going to turn your foot at a slight angle. You're going raise up and back down. You'll feel this a little more in your glutes and your hip. I know, putting a lot of faith in these ropes, but allegedly they can handle up to, I think, 75 pounds of force, which I have entire faith that none of your legs weigh 75 pounds each. If they did, that would be a lot more challenging, and I would just get stronger rope for you, because you're not gonna get to miss out on this exercise. No excuses. Last one, rest, bring it back in. Have to be even, so same thing, other side, it goes in the middle of your shoe. You're going to raise up and back down. Raise it up and back down. Now, if the ropes feel like they're hurting your fingers or your wrists for a little bit, you can do this exercise without them. It just gives you a little bit more control and takes the fighting of gravity out of it. That is the purpose of the ropes. That way it lets us go a little bit higher than we would if we had to fight gravity entirely. And these are nice and slow and controlled with rest. Now do that slight turn, bringing it up and back down. Beautiful. Last one, and rest. Go ahead and set your ropes aside. Sip of water if you need it. Okay. Last but not least, in our little lower mobility portion, you're going to support your right leg underneath your hamstrings, not underneath your kneecap. You're gonna extend it out and push it back. Extend it out, bring it back. Extend it out, bring it back. This is a move I stole from physical therapy. So for those of you who also suffer with knee mobility problems, this is a good one for you to do. Helps with the quad strength as well as getting some nice flexion and extension in that knee. And rest. Okay. Last but not least, same thing, other side. You're going to extend it out and reach it back. Now I don't want you snapping your knee when you do this. It's an extension, not a snap. And if your hamstrings are kind of tight and you can't get your leg perfectly straight, I don't care about that. This is all about the flexion and extension. So if you have to stop with a little bend in your knee each time because your hamstrings are saying, we'll pump the brakes, that's fine. Last one, and rest. Okay, come up to standing. For those of you at home, make sure that your workout space is clear. Same thing for everybody in the studio. Your weights, your ball, rope, nothing's in the way. We're going into our little cardio portion. So, if you have heart or lung problems, I only want you taking the modifications. I don't want you pressing your luck and doing too much. If at any point you feel your heart rate is too high, I want you to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, 5 times. Then do 5 side steps each side. Then you can sit down. If you immediately sit down and your heart rate is too high, your blood pressure will fall to the floor and so will you, and that's not going to be a good time. So I want you to bring that heart rate back to baseline, then sit. Okay, we're going to start with our marches or walks. If you're modifying, you're walking in place. Otherwise, you're marching. We'll always come back to that. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're walking, it's more of a 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Combo punches are next. It's a straight, straight, cross, cross. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to your march or walk. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. It's your diaphragmatic breathing. I want you to always go back to that for your cardio portion. Side steps left are next. You should be able to do this, and you're not touching anybody. You're not touching your dog, you're not touching your friend, you're not touching anyone at home either. You don't want to be bumping into each other. 3, 2, 1. Out together, out together. Now, if you need to modify, take it in little side steps instead, that's fine. Now we're adding our arm swings. This is a move I stole from Bev from Swedish Fitness. Adds a little extra cardio in it because we're getting all of your extremities involved, not just your legs. Just make sure you don't swing too high each time because then your neck is going to be very upset. Stopping at shoulder height each swing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back to your march or walk. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Good. It's not that I don't have faith in your ability to breathe, it's just when we do an exercise that's a little bit more higher intensity, sometimes your body can tighten up in preparation for the exercise. However, one of the muscles that tighten up are one of the ones around your diaphragm, which, if that's too tight, your oxygen levels are going to be insufficient. So I don't force you to breathe because I don't have faith in your breathing abilities. It's just because I don't want anybody passing out. Modified jumping jacks are next. Standard variation is here. If you need to take it with the modification further, you're slowing down the pace, and you have less range of motion with your legs. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to your march or walk. Last move is going to be our forwards and backs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward, 2, 3, clap, back, 2, 3, clap, 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 forward, 2, 3, clap, back, 2, 3, march or walk. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentle side steps. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, and out through your mouth. Gentle walks. Get 2 cool downs in the program. 1 after our cardio portion because I don't want you continuing exercise while your heart rate is too high. And then the 1 when we finish our program. You only get 1 warm-up. I'm not that nice to give you 2 warm-ups and cool downs. Don't get too happy. More inhale through your nose and exhale it out. Okay, next is our balance series. So if you need the chair, that's fine. What I want you to do is take your weights, put them on your chair to act as a little anchor. For you at home, do not use a chair that has wheels. That's not going to end well. Don't use the chair that has wheels. Don't use the person next to you. Don't use the dog. Anything that is not stable and grounded is not sufficient. If maybe you don't have the sufficient space for this, go over to a wall. I promise you, unless it's very flimsy or a house made of paper, it's not going to collapse on you. Some people get freaked out about using the wall, but I promise it'll be okay. All right, now that all of that is out of the way, we are going to start with our tree pose. There's 3 variations. Variation 1, our left leg is straight, right leg is bent, toes on the ground, heels above the ankle. Variation 2, you're at shin height, heels below the knee. And then variation 3, you are at inner thigh height. Now, if you need to tap down in between, hold on to your chair, do whatever you need to do to prevent from falling over, that is perfectly fine. If you are holding on to the chair or the wall, what I encourage you to do is start doing it with just 3 fingers. Then when 3 fingers feels easy, do the 2. Then when 2 feels easy, just do 1. When 1 feels easy, just kind of hover. And eventually you'll get to the point where you might not need as much rest. Go ahead and shake it out a little bit. We have to be even, so same thing other side. Right leg is straight, left leg comes bent. Either toe on the ground, heel above the ankle, shin height, or inner thigh height. If at any point you feel your heel or any part of your shoe pressing into your knee, it means you're doing the exercise wrong. It's okay to be a little wobbly. Embrace the wobble, very natural. It's just your body trying to recorrect itself in its equilibrium. It likes to keep its center of gravity relatively in the same place. So displacing that center of gravity is what causes you to wobble. I'm even wobbling. Rest. Go ahead and shake it out. Next is flamingo pose. So left leg is staying straight, right leg is bent, either a couple inches off the ground, shin height, or waist height. You can do Wonder Woman pose, you can do airplane mode, whatever you need to do to keep from falling, I'm perfectly okay with. What I don't want you to do though is lean back or lean forward. Rest. Shake it out a little bit. Same thing, other side. either just hovering off the ground, shin height, or waist height. Now, when you do this, I want your leg that is standing to have the weight shifted between the sole of your foot and your heel. Do not shift it to your toes. If you shift it to your toes, it's going to make you topple over or wobble even more. So, don't push it way back to where you wobble either. That's why I say disperse it between the 2 points. I know it's a bit of a challenge, but who wants to do something that's so easy that it bores you? Not me. Rest. Shake it out a little bit. Last but not least, we have our ballerina toes, as I call it. So, left leg is straight, right leg is bent, toes just on the ground. If you need to modify, your heel is just lifting off the ground. Either is perfectly fine. Now this one might not seem like it's doing much, but you're creating an uneven surface with your feet. So I promise you're challenging your balance. It's just not as much of a challenge as the other 2 poses. I like to get the hard stuff out of the way first and do the least challenging at the end. Rest. Shake it out a little bit. Have to be even, same thing, other side. Either ballerina mode or just lifting the heel off the ground. Either is perfectly acceptable. And rest. Go ahead and check it out. Come back down to seated so you can get your weights out of your way. Grab your ball. Sip of water if you need it. Okay, going into our proprioceptively enriching exercise series, or the unfortunate acronym P, we're going to do some things that challenge your hand-eye coordination, your reflexes, and your reaction time. It'll be fun for me. So, we're gonna start with our bounce and catch. When you do this, make sure you're not bouncing it super hard, because then it's gonna whack you in the face. And for you at home, if you're doing this on carpet, you might have to add a little bit extra into it, just because it bounces better on hardwood floor or any kind of smooth flooring instead of carpet, but it's still perfectly doable. I tested it on carpet and on tile floor, and it worked out for me. Catch. Now you're gonna bounce and catch with just the right hand. Bounce, catch, bounce, catch. The trick to this is to just add a light little amount of pressure so that it doesn't go up to chest height. If your ball goes up too high, that's what's going to make it harder to catch. If you want to add in that challenge, by all means, feel free to do that. Catch. Switching to the left hand. Now, statistics would indicate that for 90% of you, this is going to be harder. That's okay. Embrace the challenge. Ooh, this is my true right hand, so I even mess up sometimes, and it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Perfection is a myth. Progress is the goal. Catch. Dribble, dribble, switch. Dribble, dribble, switch. Catch. Okay. Now we're going to go into our little standing series. Those of you here in the studio, break off into groups of 3. You only need 1 ball between you. If there's 1 group of 4 because the numbers are uneven, that's fine. For you at home, if you have a partner, what you're going to do is a little variation on our red light, green light. When I say green light, you're going to bounce and catch to your partner. When I say red light, whoever has the ball catches it. If you are flying solo, you're going to stick with me, and you're going to dribble it out instead. All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1, green light. Green light. I said green, keep going. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Green light. Keep going, I said green. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. I know, I'm really making it hard today. Green light. Red light. Red light. Ah! Green light. Sometimes I do the opposite of what I say so that you have to listen to the auditory as well as the visual cues. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Back to your chair, standing. Okay. Shoulders did a little extra work today, so we're going to give them a little extra stretch. You're going to bring your left hand over to the right side. Let it stretch itself out. You can support it forearm, or if it's more comfortable for you, tricep. Just make sure you're not pushing your elbow. Switch. Spread your legs about shoulder width apart. Give me an inhale up. Exhale out. Inhale up. Exhale out. Give me one inhale up. And exhale it all out. It's another Fit Over 50 in the books. I'll see you on Wednesday.